I haven't made my decision yet, but I've been thinking. So one thing that bothers me on this tree is I have these two branches that are almost opposite each other, and they're quite symmetrical. It kind of forms a Y shape here. It's possible I could remove this entire branch on this side, keeping this one, and I have this back branch it comes from a little lower down, so it creates a bit more staggering. I'm just toying with the idea. I'm trying to imagine what the tree would look like without that branch. Oh. Or, it's possible to take out both of these and just keep this one. I think the thing that's bugging me is that I don't want this branch looking symmetrical to the other branch. I think that's why I grew this one up taller and this one flatter. Kitty's back in the greenhouse. Kitty, you are not allowed in the greenhouse now. Say hi to everyone on YouTube. Now you have to look at the camera. Yeah. You are not allowed in the greenhouse. I know you try every day to come in here. Maybe you want to learn bonsai, I don't know, but I think it's time to go out, okay? Yeah. All right. Yeah, so that's another thing I'm toying with. I wouldn't want to remove this one because it's very heavy on this side. But if I remove this one totally, I have that back branch. Oh, decisions. This is kind of bothering me, and it always has since these branches kind of thickened up. So I'm going to think about it more. I want to do what's best for the future of the tree, and not, the future next year, but maybe 5, 10, 20 years into the future. If I'm still alive, someone will benefit from this decision today. So I'm going to think about it some more before I do anything drastic, or I want to make the best decision I can. Another thing I have to consider with this structure is that it's very typical on a ficus to have multiple branches coming off from one spot. You see that a lot in nature. So maybe I should go inside and look at all my reference photos of ficus and just refresh in my mind maybe what I visualize for this tree in the far future, and maybe that'll help me make my decision. I have reached a decision. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this branch, that kind of vertical one, and I'm going to take off the top of this branch. That was my original thought, and I'm going to do that. And then, as I said, if something comes off of this part, I can maybe develop a branch out and reduce this one back a bit. I think that's a good solution for now. I think if I were to remove this branch, I would lose everything on this side of the tree pretty well, except stuff out the back. So the tree would look very flat on the front, and I think it needs something coming forward. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's not too drastic, but it's a step in the right direction, I think. Here I go. So I think for this one, I'm going to use the ratcheting pruners to remove the top off that branch. So here I go. So I'll come in, try and make a fairly flush cut. Here I go. That is off. That sure changes the appearance of the tree. I will seal that cut up. It's bleeding natural latex, but I will just seal it up. I think that's a good cut on the tree. Okay, that's step one. Now, the next step is to remove this branch here. So I think for that one, I'll come in with my branch cutters and remove it. So I'll take most of the branch off first, leaving a stub, and then I'll take the stub back. So here I go, another big cut on the tree. There goes that branch. And now I've got to work this stub back. And now my final cut. Not Final Cut Pro, but my final cut. Okay, here I go. That's good and flush. That looks really good. Two good cuts there. I'll seal that one out too. Okay. Okay, quite a change. Let me step back and have a look at the tree and just see what I did. Here's a look at the tree now. So it didn't change it too drastically, and I like it much better. Yeah, I like having this not so cluttered. These branches are a little more horizontal, and that gives me room to grow out this part of the canopy into this space. There's nothing much growing out the front of this tree. I had to prune off 2 dead branches there, this one. So it's a little flat on the front, but I'm hoping something eventually grows here, some new shoots. As this tree gains vigor, I find that, you know, you get all these new shoots all over the trunk, and you have to select which ones you keep. So hopefully something in the future will grow out this side of the tree. I've done the big cuts on this branch now, so now I'm going to just trim up the foliage that's grown in here. So there's a vertical shoot here I can remove. This branch is kind of growing back. It doesn't really flow outwards, so I'm going to pick a new branch on it that flows outwards. So I'm going to take the tip off here and this back branch here. So now the growing tip kind of fans outwards nicely. There's a branch growing towards the inside here I can remove. I think that's got that tip pruned up. There is one growing on the bottom that kind of is growing in towards the center of the tree, but it's not too bad. When it strengthens up, I have an outwards facing leaf here I can prune back to. There's a new shoot on the inside between these 2 branches here I'm going to remove. It just clutters that branch up. There's a vertical shoot here I can remove. And then on this branch I have a lower part and an upper part. And I think I want to keep my lower part, so I'll prune the upper part of that branch away. And then I have a 3rd branch going at the junction of these 2 branches that I can remove. That's got that branch tip cleaned up. The other side of it is looking good. I've got a stub I can remove here, like that, and then I can just prune the tip off to get a little more ramification. And I think everything's looking good on that branch. The other part of the branch is quite sparse. I think it was a bit shaded out, so I will prune that up also. I've got a branch growing back in towards the center of the tree here. I'll prune that one away. I've got some new branches that are fanning out here, so I'll take the tip off like that, kind of flattening that branch out a bit. I'll take the tip off this one too. Okay, I think that's all looking good on this. I guess this is one branch that divides into 2, divides into 2 again, 2 again. Yeah, so it's starting to build some ramification on it. So next, I think it's time to tackle this back branch. Here's a look at the progress of the structure so far. You see this branch is a little long, but there's nothing growing back on it, so I can't prune it back until something else comes out on that branch, which it should. It's getting full sun now. So yeah, this back branch now, I did a major cut taking off a vertical branch here last time. So let me just see what's going on with it. I've got kind of a horizontal branch here and here. Lots of good new shoots to choose from here. So there's one section of this branch, the older part, which is kind of growing quite vertical. And I've got these new shoots down lower, which I noticed just had a little bit of scale insect on them, so I'll have to spray the tree. So I think I can prune off this older part that's going vertical. Taking that off. And then I've got to make all these branches. There's a vertical one I can prune off. Do my shoot selection. I've got a vertical one here I can remove. Another vertical one here. And then I've got a good branch fanning out here. And that is about it. So I've got some growing to the inside here I can remove. Like that. And I think that's all I can do on that branch. You can see it's pretty straight here, so as this branch matures, it should get some new branches coming off of it, and then I can prune it back shorter in the future. This branch tip's looking good. I don't think I want to touch that. It divides from 1 to 2. There's 2 lower branches here. And then there's an upper one I could prune away. So I'll do that. Like that. And then off behind I have a branch that's crossing over top of this branch. I'll get rid of that. So that's gone. Keeping all the branches in the sun. This one, I've got a couple of branches here. This one is growing underneath the other one. I'll just tip prune this one to here. That's about it. Here's an example of a new shoot that's growing from the older wood here. So something like that should develop on some of these older branches eventually. So this part of the back branch is pruned up. The next part is this more vertical section. And you can see this back branch, it was originally growing radially off the trunk, and then it died off, the original branch, and this side shoot took over, and it dropped an aerial root and it really thickened it up. So I do have kind of a more radial branch here, and this part of it's kind of growing over top of this other branch, so I think I need to prune away a lot of this upper part of this branch and encourage it to grow more out the back. So I will do that. There's one growing straight out the front here. I'll get rid of that. Don't need that one. And then where to prune it. I've got a good branch here. There's another good branch above it. Everything else is a bit too sideways. So I think I'm going to take it off right here. Here I go, and I'll leave a stub. Take that whole upper structure off. And then these 2 branches are growing across, over top of the other branch, so I'm going to remove them. Taking that off. That gives light to these branches. This branch is redirected more out the back, and all is looking good. I'm still around the back of the tree, and I have a new branch growing vertically here that I don't want a vertical branch in that area, so that is coming off completely. There is a horizontal branch coming off down lower there beside it, so I'll keep that one for now anyway. So the upper vertical one comes off. This branch may be useful in the future. There's another one coming off here, which also may be useful in the future, so I'll keep that one. And then out the back here, I've got this branch, And I have a vertical part here that's kind of growing to the inside. I can remove that one. So that comes out. And then on this branch I have kind of a new branch here. I'll just tip prune it. And a new branch here, which I'll also tip prune. And then I have an older upright branch here, which I think I'll keep. I'm just going to reduce it back. I've got a shoot that is more horizontal here, so I'll take the whole top off that. And hopefully I'll get something growing down lower. The tree should gain health and strength as it grows roots in this new pot. So I'm expecting, increases in vigor as the tree grows for the next year or so. Okay, so that's got that back branch pruned up. So that's got all the branches pruned up except the upper canopy now. So let's have a look at that. Here's a look at the tree now from the front. So the upper canopy, it's filling in. I've just got to sort it out, make sure everything that's growing in the upper canopy is making sense structurally. So yeah, I'll prune up the upper canopy now. Now, there's a good branch here. There's a stub I can clean up, and I can prune this back. It's getting a little long. Bring it back to here. And then the other division of that branch is getting a little vertical. It's not too bad. Maybe I've got to prune this other branch first. It's kind of growing in the way there. I'll prune it back to here. I'll take this leaf off on the inside. I'm going to take this one back to here. This one's looking good. I've got a branch going to the inside here I can remove. And this one I have kind of two branches, one above the other. I could shorten that whole branch. I think I will. Taking it back and tip pruning this one. There's a branch here going straight out the front. I'll get rid of that. Stump I can clean up. This one is growing back in towards the center of the tree. I'll get rid of that. Everything's got to flow outwards. The top is getting a little tall. I have a good branch here and one to the side here and a back branch. I don't need a back branch because I have back branches here, so I'm going to take it off to here. Reducing the height. And those branches are fine, they're not developed enough to prune yet. There's one going to the inside here I can take off. There's an old, actually is it a branch? Yeah, there's a vertical branch here I can remove. This one, I could take it back. I've got a good horizontal branch here and one here, so I'm going to take the tip off. This branch I can prune to an outward facing leaf here, and this one too. This one is crossing everything. I'm going to remove that. There's one growing on the inside here. I'll get rid of that. This one can be pruned back to here. This one can be pruned back to here. And this one to here. Just reducing everything in that canopy. Now, I think this branch is sorted, and this one, this one, this one. This one's okay. This back one, I could reduce it. I've got two parallel branches here. I think I'll take this one off. It's growing at the base of this other branch, keeping my other two. And I think I'll leave that. I think I'll just do a little tip pruning on it. I'll even tip prune this one. And this one. Ah, that one's okay. No, I will. I'll tip prune it. And this one too. No, I can't do that one because the bud's just developing there. Okay, so that's kind of got the canopy or the apex of the tree pruned up. There is this back branch that grows behind it. So I think that's the one I need to do next. And I'm going to start by removing anything that's growing in towards the center of the tree. So there's a branch there. Anything that's right vertical can come off, like that one. This branch can be pruned back to here. And I think I'll rotate it around and prune it up from the back side. Okay, let's see what is going on here. I've got a major branch division there, and I have a new shoot coming out the back, so I'll prune that back to an outwards facing leaf in case I want to keep that branch. This one can also be pruned to an outward facing leaf. I've got one back here. This one's maybe okay. I'll just take the tip off it. This one, I've got a leaf here and here, so I'll take the top off that. This one, I got a good leaf here and here, so I can take the tip off. There's a lot of branches in this area that'll need thinning. This one can be pruned to an outward facing leaf here. This one to here. And this one, at least the top off. Like that. Now, I have to do some branch selection here. I think this one's kind of crossing. It's going between these two branches. I don't want that one. I'll keep this one. This one's going to the inside. I'll remove that. This one's growing sideways. The flow direction or radial direction is out the back here, and this one's growing sideways. I'm going to remove it. And then up top on this branch, you can see they all fan out left and right. I could at least prune it to here, keeping this left and right branch, but I think this is the branch I want to develop, so I could probably cut the whole top off that branch. I think I will. That'll give this apex room to grow out there. So I'll leave a stub, so here I go, big cut, done. And then the other side, I've got kind of a vertical section I can prune away, keeping my branch fanning outwards, and this one is also not growing very radially, so I'm going to remove that one. So now I have two branches. Actually, I got three still. These two are the best direction. I'll get rid of this one. Okay. I think the tree is pruned up. Oh, I just noticed another little scale insect there. So I'm definitely going to spray the tree. Okay, let's have a look at the tree and just see how it looks. Oh, a lot of pruning on it today. Actually, before I do that, there is a branch down lower that needs pruning. There's a branch here growing out from the roots that I'm going to remove. And there is a weed in there too. I don't want weeds. Especially not these weeds, they're terrible. Here is what came off the tree today. Big branches, small branches, quite a bit, you know, compared to what's left on the tree. It's quite sparse now, but it will fill in, I'm sure. I'm stepping back, having a look at the tree now. So I think it's going in the right direction. Despite the big setback with those branches dying, I think, you know, I removed a few of the problem areas today. I've got rid of all the foliage that wasn't growing in a good direction. I've thinned the branches. They all have sunlight. Yeah, and the directional pruning, when the new shoots come out, they should all be going in good direction. So the tree should look quite nice when it starts to fill out. So the next step, I've got to spray the tree. I've got to get rid of those scale insects. Okay, here I go. Big breath. Okay, it's time to rinse off the tree now. So here I go. And the tree will get a good watering for today too. I'm very excited about these new aerial roots. Before, you know, it was this thickness all the way down to the ground, and now I'll have finer roots with more subdivision. I think as they mature and grow, it's going to look really good. That's my prediction. I think the whole tree will look really good someday. It's just, I don't know, even though it's my oldest tree, it feels like I'm just getting started on it. And the setbacks didn't help, but that's how you learn. I've definitely learned that this year my plant room will hopefully not be so crowded, and I can get to all my trees and inspect them for insects, and hopefully all will go better. So that concludes the work on the ficus today. I should rotate it around just so you can see it from all angles before I get out another tree. Okay, so here is the front of the tree. I'm coming around to the right-hand side. Sure love this pot. Coming around to the back, to the left-hand side, and back to the front.